mentorship is a critical component of personal and professional development. Sharing knowledge, skills, and guidance with a less experienced individual helps them to grow and reach their full potential. Hi, I'm Tej here with another story of a non-profit doing good for the community. Today I have Riyani Indriyati Fransen, founder of the Dahuni Foundation that helps individuals develop new skills and achieve their full potential. Riyani has a background in journalism and earned her two master's degree from the US, first in public relations and second in applied linguistics. In addition to running the Dahuni Foundation, Riyani also occasionally writes. So we have a writer with us. Welcome, Riyani.
Hi, Taj. Thank you for having me.
I love the sound of your name, Riyani. What does it mean?
Well, I was told that, so my grandmother named me, and I was told that it could mean two things, either the happy one or the one who was born during the Idul Fitri.
Doing? Sorry, I didn't
The,
get that.
the Idul Fitri, so that's the end of Ramadan where they have the Islamic festival.
Oh, okay. Oh, beautiful. That's a lovely meaning to it. Wonderful.
Thank you.
So, Riyani, tell us you are into mentorship and you identify and select recipients. And what is the criteria that you use to determine eligibility?
Well, for our mentorship program, we have different formats. So the students who we award the scholarships, our awardees are automatically being placed into our mentorship program with the idea that while they are busy completing their bachelor's degree, we want to prepare them already for their upcoming journey, because one of our ideas of having the foundation is to encourage all our students to apply for a scholarship abroad, hopefully. But in addition to that, we also open our mentorship program to students who are not in our scholarship program, but just students in
Mhm.
general. And if they want to
Okay.
apply for either exchange programs or to scholarships, whether it's in Indonesia or abroad, then we are helping them with basically from the beginning until they complete their program, from the way that they prepare their application, from the writing part, writing an essay, to helping them with their English program, even to helping them with their interview preparation. So we have kind of two different schemes for that mentorship.
Right. And are you serving any particular community? Are you serving any particular age group for college scholarships?
For the scholarship itself, so it's for bachelor degree students in Indonesia mainly. So we take on Indonesian students who are studying in Indonesia. But for the mentorship, then yes, it can be from students who are about to finish their bachelor's degree, or those who are in preparation to enter the master's degree. So age-wise, I think it ranges from early 20s and up until maybe early 30s, depending on where they are, because we also have our students who decided to first get a job and work before they apply for a scholarship abroad.
Right. And how old is this organization? Is it very recent?
Um, we founded the Dahuni Foundation back in 2012, so it's been more than a decade. And at that time, we lived in Amsterdam, and I just graduated from my master's degree in the US. And at that time, the idea was, of course, to immediately find a job that fits with my background. But I kind of didn't realize that in order for me to work professionally with the degree that I had in public relation, then proficiency in Dutch in a working environment was kind of important. So I decided to just join an international volunteering organization. And for in my first assignment, I was sent to Indonesia, to my home country, to a remote area in central Java to teach English to students, high school students, that they were living in a Islamic boarding school. So most of them were orphans and just children who were coming from a very poor background. And I was just touched, and I fell in love with both the students, but also by the owners of the boarding school, because they provided free meals, free education, and basically housed them. And the students, I they reminded me of who I was back, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. And I came from the same background. I was also raised by a mother. So she was a teacher, but at that time she didn't earn a lot to be able to support all her six children. So that was kind of the idea that maybe I didn't have to have a lot to be able to help some of these, very motivated, very determined students. So the idea came about that, okay, I want to do something to help some of these students. So we decided to take one student. Let's start with one and see how it goes. And we decided to help a boy. So in the weekend, well, during the week, he was studying at this a boarding school, at the Islamic boarding school, to try to finish his senior high school level. But on weekends, he would go to the market and collect trash and wash dishes at this small shop just to survive. So we kind of talked about it, and then we decided to, okay, let's see if we can help you, because I knew he was passionate about wanting to do more than just living and spending his life in that small village. So we sent him to a university, and he earned his degree in communication. And now the boy who was once washed dishes in the market is a prominent journalist in Indonesia.
Wow, that is a success story, isn't it? And that must be really making you so proud that you took the right step. Let's take a break to understand what CHEZUBA is. Everyone at some point ponders on how this beautiful life can be made more meaningful. Maybe you're a leader trying to enhance your employees' experience at your organization. Or you already work for the community and seek volunteers with state of the art skills to strengthen your nonprofit. Whatever your situation, know that you can make a difference. CHEZUBA began with this very vision, a vision to facilitate every skill and every passion in the world in meeting a social need. Corporate volunteering has several benefits for both businesses and organizations. In parallel, experienced and enthusiastic volunteers join NGO workers, enabling them to serve the community more effectively. CHEZUBA offers everyone looking to add purpose and meaning to their lives a chance to connect or volunteer virtually with nonprofit organizations from over 100 countries around the world. Visit www.chezuba.net and explore opportunities to find meaning. CHEZUBA, your platform to do good. And now, back with our guest. Tell me, Riyani, it takes a big heart to start something like this and keep it continuing, right? I'm sure you've faced many challenges in this process. What was the biggest challenge that you faced?
Oh, it's interesting that you asked me this question, because that is kind of an ongoing conversation that I continuously have with my husband. So, what is it our, the real challenge? And I think that we end up with kind of two. So the first one is, of course, the distance. We live in Portugal, and our students and teachers and a lot of our friends and the supporters of the foundation, they all live in Indonesia. So we only get to see them once a year. So that can be at times a little bit yeah, challenging, I think, because we want to be close to them and to be able to communicate with them on a more regular and face-to-face basis. But yeah, what can we do, right? And the second one that maybe a little bit or more personal is the fact that we have these students with us for at least a couple of years. And because we are so personal in the way we approach our programs, in the way we treat them from the beginning until they finish their degrees is so personal, we kind of raise them as our own children. We give them our hearts, our energy, our everything. But you realize that one day they will go on and live their own life, right? So it's kind of bittersweet. On the one hand, you're very happy that they make all kinds of accomplishments. They change their lives. They help others. They go on. So that is the nice thing. But the kind of the bitter part is that yeah, we don't get to see them as much as we want to when they are in the in our program. So for me, that kind of the two, yeah, I would say difficulties at times.
Right. So, Riyani, tell me, how do you know that this scholarship program is sustainable, something that people want, and there is scope for more help? How many mentors do you have right now?
Um, I think one of the reasons why I hope and I believe that what we do is sustainable is because when we select the students for our scholarship program, for example, we have in place strong criterias. So, for example, one of them is that the student has to have a good GPA, and it is at least 3.5 minimum. The second one is we always want to look for students from top universities. And the last one is they need to have good motivation to continue and to finish their program. And we deliberately only select 10 students per program, knowing that with that small number, we know that we can tailor the program based on what they need, because our students are also coming from different universities, subjects,
Yeah.
different majors. They have different goals that they want to achieve. So we don't have a one mentorship program that fits for all. Of course, there are some similarities, but in addition to that, we also tailor our program based on what they need. And then, so I think that by doing that, so first of all, these 10 students that we select, they have a direct access and work closely to me and with me and also with my husband, with Taco. And that is needed for me, I think, because by having a direct interaction, they get to know our values, they get to know how we do things, they get to know what specific program that they need to do throughout the mentorship. So that's one. And I think that what makes Dahuni Foundation unique, in my opinion, is because we are a small enough foundation that is not too big that we cannot even remember who are our students. I know exactly who they are. I know exactly where they come from.
Yeah.
I know their families. I know their stories. And that makes it easy, but also a little bit challenging sometimes. So having that small number of students per batch gives me the opportunity to again having direct interaction with them. They also have direct access to us, because I think that what we give them is not only the financial aid, but we also give them the mentorship program and also the opportunity to take part in our educational event. And that event is, again, one of the highlights of our program. We give them the complete package and support needed. Yes, they have the money to make sure that they don't fall out or fall behind in their tuition fee. They have the opportunity to get guidance from us directly, but also we connect them with other resources, because part of the mentorship program is we create different activities. We have a development program that would match with their desire in later on in life. So one of the things that we do for them is create an English development program, and then we also connect them with other mentors, with other people who have gone through the same thing and they have come on the other side. For example, with the previous mentees who have secured scholarships, who have won exchange programs. And again, we go back to what you asked me before. What are some of the things that our previous mentees have done to give back to the community? And in this case, the community of Dahuni, for me, is one of them is through that. So whatever that they gain throughout the years, they pass it on to the next generation, which is the next batch of
That is
these
so beautiful.
students. Thank you.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. Uh, Talking of which, now could you tell us who your mentors are and where are they coming from? Is it mainly from Indonesia itself, or is it all over the world?
Well, we have different mentors, I think. So the direct one that works closely with the students are the mentees, because we have kind of a transition. So at a point, they were the mentees and we mentor them directly. But once they have gone through their journey and they have accomplished their goals, then we prepare them and put them in our mentorship program so that they can mentor the next generation. So
You get,
that's one.
yeah, yeah.
And the other one is we also get a lot of help from our colleagues, from my university friends, and from some work friends who have different skills and knowledge and backgrounds that they want to pass on and help these students. And we are also currently looking at a different platform, maybe a different ways of how can we create maybe a more structured and more a firm a program where I can match these different types of mentees to those that have what they need. So we are still looking at ways to grow and develop our mentorship program.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think, Riani, it's so nice to hear about Dahuni and the work that you are doing. This goes a long way in transforming lives, I'm sure, and it's a perfect tribute to your grandmother and your mother, who have been so instrumental in raising somebody like you. Uh, I'm sure they'll be very happy to see you where you are right now. Thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Of course, it's my pleasure. Thank you.